There is a moment in every seeker's life when something irreversible happens. A curtain lifts, a mask slips. You begin to see what others do not, and what you once could not. You notice the tremor in a friend's voice when they say they are fine. You feel the dissonance in a conversation that everyone else calls normal. You sense the truth hiding between the words. At first it feels like a gift, a superpower of empathy and perception. But what if this ability, this clarity of vision, is also the very thing that isolates you from the world? What if seeing too clearly is not a blessing, but a quiet kind of exile? We live in an age that worships awareness. Be mindful, be conscious, see the truth. But nobody warns you about what happens after you do. They do not tell you that awareness has a cost, that when the fog clears, comfort disappears with it. Philosophers have written about this for millennia. Buddha called it the wound of awakening. Nietzsche called it the burden of consciousness. Jung warned that enlightenment is not about imagining figures of light, but about making the darkness conscious, seeing the truth in people, in life, in yourself, can become both your greatest strength and your deepest sorrow. Watch a room long enough and you will see it. The silent choreography of human pretending, laughter timed too perfectly, compliments rehearsed, a web of small lies that keep everything running smoothly. It is not deception, it is survival. Civilization depends on these gentle illusions, the kind that protect us from the unbearable weight of full honesty. But then there is you, the one who notices the unspoken. You sense tension before words confirm it. You read a look before it turns into conflict. And that is when the world begins to shift. Because once you see the game, you cannot pretend you do not know the rules. The Stoics said, to see clearly is to suffer wisely. They were right. Perception brings pain, not because the world suddenly became darker, but because you no longer get to look away. The person who sees too much begins to feel too much. Empaths call it sensitivity. Mystics call it awakening. Psychologists might call it hyper-awareness. Whatever the name, the result is the same. You start carrying emotional truths that do not belong to you. You walk into a room empty and leave carrying its unspoken sorrow. Imagine speaking a language that no one else understands. You say, something feels wrong here, and people smile, change the subject, or tell you that you are overthinking. So you stop speaking. Not because you have nothing to say, but because you are tired of translating your perception into terms others can tolerate. This is the first exile, the loneliness of seeing. You begin to live in a different reality, one that overlaps with the collective world but never quite fits inside it. When you see people clearly, their motives, insecurities, and unspoken pain, your very presence becomes a mirror. And mirrors are uncomfortable things. They do not lie, they do not flatter, they simply reflect. The more clearly you see, the more others feel exposed. They begin to project. They call you too intense, too serious, too sensitive. But what they really mean is that you make them see parts of themselves they are not ready to face. The danger is not that you see, it is that your seeing makes others question their masks. There is a madness that does not look like madness at all. It is the madness of constantly doubting their own perception. When everyone insists the play is real, and you are the only one whispering, these are actors. Each time you silence your intuition to keep the peace, you fracture a little more inside. You tell yourself, maybe I am imagining it. But deep down, a quieter voice answers, no, you are just awake. History loves its prophets in hindsight, but in their own time, every truth teller is inconvenient. Socrates was executed for corrupting the youth. Giordano Bruno was burned for saying the stars were suns. Even modern truth speakers are mocked, not because they are wrong, but because they disrupt the collective dream. This is shooting the messenger in its purest form. Society protects its illusions the way the body protects an organ, and you, the one who sees, become the irritant, the immune response. So they label you negative, cynical, unstable. It is not you they are defending against, it is their own discomfort. But the deepest danger is not rejection, it is absorption. When you perceive everyone's pain, you start mistaking it for your own. Your empathy becomes porous. Boundaries dissolve. You wake up anxious for no reason, sad for no reason, angry for no reason, because your nervous system is carrying stories that are not yours. Carl Jung wrote, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. But if you absorb everything, you are transformed by everyone." Awareness creates a reflex to fix, to help, to heal. You see someone suffering and you cannot stand still. You see a system collapsing and you feel you must intervene. It feels like responsibility, but it is actually attachment. Not every pain needs your rescue. Not every broken thing wants repair, and sometimes your interference becomes another disturbance in the field. Imagine muddy water. You rush in to clear it, but your hands only stir up more mud. Stillness, not struggle, makes it clear again. So what does wisdom look like once you have seen? It looks like restraint. It looks like compassion without control. It looks like sitting beside someone's pain without rushing to erase it. The greatest healers rarely fix, they witness. Their presence says, "I see you completely, and you are still safe." That is the real alchemy of perception, turning awareness into sanctuary. You must learn to be in the world, but not of it. To walk among illusions without losing your truth. To feel deeply, yet remain centered. This balance is not coldness, it is clarity. Boundaries are not walls, they are windows. They let light in but keep your center intact. The moment you realize you do not have to drink every emotion you sense, you begin to hear your own voice again, soft, but unmistakably yours. And eventually, if you endure the solitude, you will meet others who see. They recognize you not by words, but by presence. That quiet steadiness that says, "I no longer need to explain my perception." When people like this meet, something extraordinary happens. They do not wake each other up, they hold space for wakefulness to rest. It is like dawn recognizing dawn. The danger of seeing what others do not is real. It can isolate you, exhaust you, and even make you doubt your sanity. But it is also an invitation to grow into an awareness that does not destroy you, to see without judging, to know without controlling, to love without rescuing. Awareness is not a task, it is a way of being. And when held with humility, it becomes luminous instead of heavy. You will always see more than most. That is not arrogance, it is simply your wiring. But remember, clarity is not meant to isolate you, it is meant to illuminate. The question is not whether you will keep seeing, you will. The question is whether you can stay gentle while you do, because the true art of awakening is not waking others up. It is staying awake in a world that still dreams.